Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Points of Articulation. My name's Dave and if you're new to the channel, welcome everybody. Today I'm taking a look at the Hot Wheels Star Wars Speederbike, which is part of the Build a Death Star series released in 2019. The Imperial Speederbike was first seen in Star Wars Episode 6, The Return of the Jedi. Now if you remember, each ship in this series represents one vessel from the respective movie they're seen in, so this piece here, the Speederbike, is for Episode 6. Each ship also comes with a piece to build our very own Death Star, so stay tuned towards the end of the episode when we continue construction of our Instrument of Death. Besides that, before I get to the size of this ship, last week I did ask a question, and that question was, how many Class 2 heavy laser cannons is an AT-AT equipped with? The answer is 2! So if you got that, congratulations. I know a couple of you did answer, so stay tuned towards the end of the episode when I'll ask another question. Now, for the size of this ship, it is the same exact mold we got with the original Speederbike release, so it should be a shock to nobody that the size of this is about 3¼ inches long, which is actually really good. Now, everybody should know how my videos go by now. We're going to take a look at the mold, the paint, put on a stand, compare it, continue construction on our Death Star, and then we'll be done, so let's get moving. Alright, let's get this video started looking at the mold. Like in all my videos, I will go over all the major sections of the item, and then we'll get a nice close-up look to see all those fine details. So let's begin in the front. We have our steering vanes, looking very nice. Right here should be a comms link. We have our 2 controls, or the handlebars, whatever you want to call them, looking good. Our control panel, look at all the buttons, very nice. We have our seat, Scout Trooper, molded very nice. Think that came out great. We also have foot pedals, whereas they're labeled altitude controls. Those came out very cool. In the aft section, we have a little cargo canister here, 2 thrust flaps, and in the aft section, an engine. Looking good. For the bottom, we have 2 rivets holding it together, copyright crap, peg port for the stand, and finally, a blaster cannon. All in all, a very nicely done piece. So now let's get a closer look. So now having a closer look at the Speederbike, I have to say mine does have some defects. As you can see, there is some pock marks as well as bubbling. It is throughout my model at different places, and I looked at a couple more at Walmart, and mine sadly seems to be the best looking one. So I know about it, I apologize, it is what it is. Regardless of those defects though, this is a very nice looking mold. As we can see in the front, beautifully done, nicely detailed with the steering vanes. Sick. Moving back, we do have our blaster cannon, looking very nice. It is molded to the frame, so it is what it is, but it's nice they added it. Then we have our copyright crap, 2 rivets, one right here, and one in the aft section, stand connector port, and some beautiful molding throughout. Very nice stuff, as you can see back here. Excellent. And check this out right here. When you look inside of this module, look at that. Some great detailing. You know, when Hot Wheels decides to do something right, they just blow it out of the water. Very nice. Very detailed. Excellent stuff. Coming to the aft section, you can see the 2 turbines in here. Very nice. Some beautiful modules. More little pock marks on the thrust flaps. A little thicker than they should be, but for a little kid's toy, it's not bad at all. Then we have our little cargo, looking good. See the 2 little straps, a couple folds in there. Some raised sections around the engine, looking good. Now each side is almost identical. Little differences here and there, but not much to talk about. So looking at the sides, we do have our foot pedals, or altitude controls. Nice detailing. We have some wires here. Beautiful stuff coming to the front. Some more detailing. Excellent stuff. On this side, again, some nice molding here. Beautiful. Coming to the top section, we have our seat, which is molded very nicely. Around that, some beautiful mold, and look at all that. Fantastic stuff. Then it sort of smooths out here. And then we have some paneling going around the front. which looks very nice. And again, same on this side, paneling, and it sort of smooths out. And then we have our seat and nice details right here. Now for the control panel, look at that. All the little buttons and doodads, everything's there that should be, and it looks really good. And it's not flat either, everything's popping up, and I think it looks great. Then we have our controls, or the handlebars, whatever you want to call them. Fantastically done, we can see little details there. Pretty cool. Nice. And then we have our gloves to our Scout Trooper. Nicely detailed. Scout Trooper itself is very nice. We have all the armor where it should be. You know what? Let's start with the boots. Nicely done. We have the armor, the legs. Looking good. A couple folds here and there, but nothing really drastic. Scout Trooper butt. Coming down this leg. Same as the other, except, just like in the movie, this Scout Trooper has a little pistol. So nice attention to detail there. Coming up, you can see a nice belt on the Scout Trooper. Very nice stuff. You can see the chest armor as well. Pretty dope. Coming up, he has his little backpack there. Looking very nice. And then the helmet, which is my favorite part. I love the Scout Trooper helmet. Little dust there. Hate that. Very cool. Now for the rest of the ship, or speeder, moving forward. Beautiful amounts of detail here. Fantastic stuff. We have our little comm link here. Moving down to the top of the steering vane. Nicely molded. Beautiful. I think this came out really nice. And that does it for the mold. Hopefully I covered everything. You know, I gotta say, the silver paint may look nice, but to film it, it's very hard, especially for my camera / phone. It never wants to focus right. It always looks a little blurry with the light. I don't know, it always gives me a problem. But speaking of that paint, let's talk about that next. And now looking at that paint on the Hot Wheels Star Wars Speederbike, it is the same as all the other ships in this particular series. It's a silver. And I do think it looks good. Now, I much would have preferred a nice mirrored look or chrome, but it is what it is, and it does blend with the rest of the series, so it's not too bad. And as you can see, it's just silver all over. At points, it does have a nice mirrored quality to it, reflects light very well. It's pretty cool. And they do match the plastic with the die-cast very closely, as you can see right here. Not bad. Not bad at all. So that does it for the mold and the paint. So now let's put this baby back on a stand and compare it to some other pieces before we continue construction of our Death Star. And just like other Hot Wheels ships, it comes with a cool stand. Here we can see the Imperial symbol. Peg it into port like so. Hear that click. And just like that, everybody, you're good to go. And now for a quick size comparison with the Hot Wheels Star Wars Speederbike, which is part of the Build the Death Star series, seen in the center. On the right-hand side, we have the original release Speederbike, which is a pretty cool model. And then finally, on the left-hand side, we have General Grievous's wheel bike, which is a very cool model. For an added bonus, here is every Build the Death Star series ship I own to date. Starting from the left-hand side and moving our way to the right, we have the Naboo Starfighter, the Republic gunship, Jedi Starfighter, the Speederbike, Darth Vader's TIE Advanced, and finally Boba Fett's Slave 1. Now, if you're interested in seeing any of the ships before you, check the links in the description below because I reviewed them all. Now, for this ship's Build the Death Star piece, we have the Super Laser Emitter Dish, which looks very nice, as you can see. Some beautiful details there, amazing stuff. Now, besides this detailed dish, that's it. The rest of it is just structural stuff to hold the model together. Here we have some holes, which we'll see how they work in a few. And then we have the number 6 to represent the Speederbike, Return of the Jedi. You get the picture. And then we have a model number here, and that's about it. So let's get building! Yeah! I miss that sound. I haven't done one of these videos in a while. But as we can see, it's coming together nicely. 3 more ships to go before we have a fully functional battle station, which will do nothing but sit on my desk. And that does it today for my review of the Hot Wheels Star Wars Speederbike, which is part of the Build the Death Star series released in 2019. Now, we've seen this mold before, it's just a repaint like all the ships in this series, but it's not a bad mold by any stretch of the imagination. Everything's there that should be, and I think it's a cool looking ship. Now for the paint, the silver paint is nice. As always, I would have liked a chrome look, a mirrored look, but it is good and it does match the rest of the series, so again, I'm very happy with it. You can't forget, it also comes with a cool translucent stand to help it blend in with the rest of the collection, which is very nice. Besides the stand, you also get a nice Build the Death Star piece, and every video we're getting closer to building that Death Star, and I can't wait to have it finished. Now, for this week's question, here we go. Who supplied the voice for Darth Vader? Let me know in the comments below, and next week, we'll talk about the answer. So that's everything I have to say about this beautiful looking ship today. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, hit that like button, and if you'd like to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. Again, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody!